you don't really need words to describe it. You convey. When that's successful, it really doesn't really matter what language you're speaking. Music is a language without barrier.
People don't actually have to learn how to react to music. Music is something that probably is the first thing which connects people, the most direct.
I mean, naturally, music does to us is just to understand and to feel each other without too much of analyzation. And we use a very, how should we say, like a very original sense of communication.
Music has its own language, which, in my opinion, sometimes is very far of the spoken one.
I think music actually speaks to no professional or unprofessional. It just speaks to the heart. And so it also automatically opens the heart. So when we play music or we play the music to the audience, we just, open all the hearts, and it's the most beautiful thing.
Right here we have our common language, which is music. Especially when we did not speak English well enough, I mean that's the most important tool that we could communicate with each other.
Appassionato. Yeah, this is not English, but still this is a music word. But if I translate to Chinese, it sounds not like appassionato. Yeah, and I think this is also the art from the language. So from that time, I was trying to learn all words from the music. Don't make the translation anymore. I think this is the most important thing for me to understand everything from the music score.
I say, okay, let's try to play this a little bit elegantly. But for different people, elegantly could mean very different things. If they don't have the same understanding of the same word, and even in different language, it could mean very different things. You don't have the ability to describe something in the same language, right? So then you just show it with playing, and sometimes it's eye-opening.
With the teacher was never a problem, because teacher sometimes they talk with hands. They talk with hands on the piano. They play. They talk also in the waves of mood, and so it was very, very easy and inspiring. Sorry. Also the middle voice.
This program actually provides translators. They are very patient with the students during lesson and master class, and they're trying their best for us to understand what teacher wants.
If you can't speak very well English, it doesn't matter. They will always with you, and they will always make some translation for you, and you will feel yourself, okay, no, I'm at home.
And the special about this year for me is I have a student, my own student, and it's participating in the Music Bridge, doing exactly the same thing when I was doing it 20 years ago. I'm very excited, and this is special for me to come back, to have this same experience, kind of, I had it in 20 years ago, and it just brought me in tears. Everything seems like yesterday.
fresh experience for myself to be involved in teaching. Yeah, I think when I see them, I feel I'm very close to them actually. They are very talented and also have a very strong will to improve, that made me want to really dedicate and to help them the best way I could. And some of them even just at the age that I was at the Morningside for the first time, and that is somehow have a very interesting dialogue and mirroring each other.
So always give a little more.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of programs out there in the rest of the world are more targeted, more focused on one student that's studying with one teacher intensively for a period of time. And for this program, there's so many teachers coming in. They wanted to expose the students to different music ideas at a young age, as early as possible. In music, there's never really a right or wrong way of saying one thing. Sometimes you play the same repertoire to two teachers, and sometimes they say complete opposite things. And that's I remember once a student, and you get so confused. Now I become a teacher, and I listen to other teachers' master classes. Then I realized actually, first of all, a lot of times, two teachers are after the same result, but they're coming in from different angles. I always try to ask the students, you need to understand why the teacher is asking you certain things. You need to understand the reasoning behind it, not the surface of what she or he is asking you to do.
I remember I got really a nice compliment from some teachers, which really encouraged me because I respect them so much. One is John Perry. I played Rachmaninoff second concerto to him. You felt like, okay, you are facing an ocean in front of you. As much as you go deeper, you see more and you see farther to go.
I remember some lessons with Professor Kajina from Poland. He was really extraordinary and he was such a unique teacher. I always throw my bow to the string and I never really prepare. So he keep telling me the same thing over and over and over again for like 100 times. If I were him, I would probably already lost my patience long time ago, but he just really being patient and strong about it, and he really meant it.
Good intonation is a reaction. Immediately we are reacting. In the moment we start with sound, I can do this and I can do this. It's different. Very often we are thinking that to play clear, it's to have right objective intonation, like piano. The most important in the violin is subjective intonation.
10 years after I played here 2 days ago in Jordan Hall, and then I saw him afterwards, and he still reminded me, Angelo, when you play in the most intensive, passionate passages, your right hand still look like this. I'm sorry, you're so great, but just remember that. And I was so touched that he still remembered my old problems. For me, it is a lifelong time learning experience, and I really, really appreciate he saying this to me, even after so many years.
One shall always use competition as a way of learning. There were times I didn't make it to the final. There were once I won a concerto competition. Yeah, and it's a wonderful experience.
When I look back, in the past 10 years, I probably played with 100 different orchestras around the world, and every time I was so nervous. But no, that first time with Calgary Phil in MMB, I was afraid of nothing because I was so happy. I was so happy that I could actually play with an orchestra.
I was the very first concerto competition finalist. There were so many great musicians in the camp, and I was kind of shocked and unexpected I was actually be the one of the finalists. As a teacher now, I think I understood what's the reason I could be one of them instead of some other students. Music is actually in general not about how you play technically, how well you play every single note, how accurate you play. It's about if you carry certain feelings to the audience, to touch other people's feeling.
Nowadays, many younger musicians, they're sort of setting their goal as a perfectionism, and they wanted to win competitions. At the end, what really touches people is the heart. That's why I play every single concert as if it's my last performance. I'm proud that I'm not perfect. Then we can really cherish not only the beauty, but also the flaws, because that's also part of us. That's also what makes us human.